Hello there and welcome to the latest in the KBC vlog series. We've been working our way through this book, Whole Life, Whole Bible, and today we're in the New Testament book of 1 Peter, which tells us that we're approaching the end of this particular vlog series. I just want to thank everyone in the vlogging team who's done this series and look forward next month, later on in November, to starting a brand new series. Sometimes when we approach the vlog, we read what's in the book and then add our own thoughts. Today I don't want to do that. I just want to simply read to you from the book by Anthony Billington, which sets out clearly, I think much better than I would do anyway, on the theme of today, under the heading Elect and Scattered. What's that all about? Well, let's read from 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 1, and then from chapter 2, verses 9 and 10, first of all. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to God's elect, exiles scattered throughout the provinces. You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. Once you were not a people, but now you are the people of God. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. This passage in Peter is actually a call back to something that was spoken to Moses back in Exodus, and I just want to touch on that verse as well. Exodus 19, verses 3 and 5 and 6, where it says that the Lord called to Moses from the mountain and said, "Although the whole earth is mine, you will be for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation." Anthony Billington writes the following. Peter wrote to the churches of Asia Minor, small fellowships of Jews and Gentiles, and gave them a new and powerful identity, using the titles given by God to the newly formed nation of Israel at Sinai. Just a brief postscript from me on this. Israel's all over the news at the moment. This is foundational in the history of that great nation of Israel. Israel didn't start in 1948. It started with Moses on a mountain. As we read the New Testament documents, we can see how the writers were being led by the Holy Spirit into a new understanding of what it means to be God's people. The life, death, resurrection, and ascension of Jesus had taken them into a new age. Now, Jew and Gentile together were the church, the redeemed people of God. But this did not mean simply that Gentiles should become Jews, grafted into all that Judaism entailed, law and regulations for living, temple and sacrifices, land and ethnic identity. Nor did it mean, however, that these elements were swept away and forgotten as a new faith sprang into life. Now, all the great symbolic identity markers of Israel are pulled into focus, finding their final significance through the cross and resurrection of Jesus Christ. He is our sacrifice. His body is the temple, destroyed and rebuilt in 3 days. Now we, as Christians, are also identified as temples of the Holy Spirit, both individually and together. Now there is no longer one ethnic group in one geographically outlined land, but new communities of persons from every tribe and language and people and nation, who have been made to be a kingdom of priests to serve our God. The whole heritage of Israel, from Abraham through David to John the Baptist, has been transformed into the heritage of his redeemed and chosen people throughout the earth. The emphasis falls on continuity and fulfillment. Peter, like other New Testament writers, believes that Jesus is Israel's Messiah and hopes that all Jews will now gather around that Messiah. But he's also aware that God is finally fulfilling his promise to bring the Gentiles, the non-Jews, into the blessing too. That blessing gives them the privileges and responsibilities that went with the covenant. Hence, Israel's call, its identity and role with respect to the world, is now taken up by the church, by every follower of Christ. God's mission to bless all nations continues to be worked out through us, his chosen people, wherever we may find ourselves scattered, placed in the world for the sake of the world. May God bless you today. And as you watch the devastating things happening in that region, that old nation of Israel and Palestine as well, take these things to the Lord who cares intimately for these lands. May God bless you today. Bye-bye.